Hello and welcome back to the final edition of Cracking On with the Sun, because it was the finale last night and it was a goodie.
It was so good, to the point where we've obviously even feel inspired to make an effort.
Yeah, I feel like we had to. They looked so gorgeous last night, all of them, didn't they?
Yeah.
I was obsessed with Molly's outfit. Obviously, Maya did a real kind of different. She looked so different, didn't she? It was a very Jackie Kennedy kind of vibe.
Oh yeah, I like that.
Did you think? Yeah.
My favourite thing about the final is, you know, as we know from previous series, when it's the final, they all ship out the villa for a night and go and stay in a hotel so that the villa can be got ready for the final. And while they're at that hotel, they have their hair and makeup done. Whereas obviously the whole time in the villa, they're usually busy doing their own glam. And I always think you can tell. The one person in particular that I thought, ooh, this is different, was Ekin Su. Literally came back for their final looking like a different person. And I was like, what have they done to you, love? Not bad, just different.
Yeah.
But you're right, they all looked super good.
Yeah, no, it was an amazing final, but I don't think it was a surprising final. So I'd kind of written a note of who I thought was going to win, Molly and Tom.
Yeah.
They are our winners, our champions of the first All Stars series. But I think maybe the only slight, maybe injustice, is that too strong a word? But I think Sophie and Josh should have been up there, perhaps won or even come second. But it was kind of all there to be, you know, as in the whole exes.
Yeah.
You know, it was written in the stars in that way.
The one thing I think that we can always rely on Love Island for is the strongest couple never wins.
No.
So let's, for example, look at last summer. Sammy and Jess were no way as strong as Whitney and
Lachlan.
Yeah. I mean, they're still together. Sammy and Jess aren't still together. Similarly,
Molly and Tommy didn't win.
Yeah, Tyreek and Ella in the summer didn't win, and they were like together the longest. They
Why
were day
is that
oneers.
then? What's the?
I think that Britain votes for individuals, not couples. You know, Ekin Su and Davide, they voted for Ekin Su. And I think that last night was an absolute classic case. So, as I said, our Sun Readers poll, famously never wrong, you got it right again last night, said that their favourite girl was Molly and their favourite boy was Callum. And I think that Molly won last night. Molly and Tom potentially didn't win.
Right, okay.
Thoughts?
Yeah, no, I think that probably is true. I mean, I'm like team... Well, I'm actually... This has been an appreciation podcast for Tom Claire, as I've said many times. But I also, Molly's just, I don't know, she's just been perfect throughout this. I think she's held herself really well. You kind of aspire to be as grown up and sensible as her. I'm learning.
Yeah.
I don't know, I think it was very team Molly, wasn't it? You want her to be happy, but were we making her happy by her being sat right next to her ex? As the final two? I'm not really sure.
So it was just the producers just really got the memo, didn't they, in general? So we had Callum and Molly literally sat next to each other. Some of the camera angles, it was just Callum and Molly. Maya making every single exit interview about Callum and Molly. Maya making all four of their exit interviews about Callum and Molly and the love triangle. So actually, I feel like the real winner of Love Island All Stars was a love triangle.
Yeah.
Because that's the real talking point of the series. That's what everyone's been obsessed with online. People will remember All Stars for that love triangle.
And there was Jess just sat there. I mean, it was hilarious sort of during the chat with the four of them. It had just been so long. And I thought, Tom hasn't spoken yet. Tom is mute. Like, nothing has come out of that boy's mouth. And I thought, oh no, Tom, speak.
I think it says a lot about you, Amanda, that you have launched an appreciation club for a man who is mute.
I'm just standing up for him. He can't speak, so I will speak on his behalf.
Oh, Tom.
But Maya, as kind of my star of the evening.
Yes.
Not only did she have her superstar boyfriend, Stormzy, just there in the crowd casually watching her shine. I love the fact that they're both superstars. And this is your whole thing about Superstar Stage. That's actually two superstars, it seems to work. Although he does have a bit more of a maybe calming presence than she does.
Yeah,
she's a bit more
he's a kind of
crazy.
He's an introverted superstar.
Yeah. But she just seemed to like want to stir the pot continuously. I don't know whether she's been spending too much time with our Messy Mitch, who we're going to hear from. He's giving us all of the juicy details from South Africa. We spoke to him live from South Africa. That's coming up soon.
Yeah, we've been teasing that all week, and
it's
I
worth
know
the
that
wait.
you're all desperate, and it's worth the wait. As you will have seen from him last night and in that Islander Jury, he wasn't there to play, was he? So definitely stay tuned for Mitch, because it's good.
So Maya's taken a bit of Messy Mitch off of him, and it's really rubbed off, hasn't it? Because she just seemed to want to stir the pot with everyone. She dropped that bombshell that we've all wanted to Molly to find out, which was about that teddy, that it was actually Callum's idea on Valentine's Day and not Tom's.
That Tom should give her a dog.
The dog thing, yes. Yeah. And because she was missing her dog from home so much, who we then saw on the video episode. At that moment, Molly, you could tell, was like taking that information in, and she kind of looked down, and she's still got this, gorgeous smile on her face and stuff, but you visibly see her react to it.
A blow landed, didn't it?
You helped pick Molly's teddy. You helped pick Molly's teddy on Valentine's Day. Is that weird? Is that fine?
Do you know what? I think in life, you just got to get on with it, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, and then Tom was like stony faced, wasn't he? He was like, oh no, been found out.
I've been rumbled. But no, you're right. Maya as well. Maya is obviously team Callum and Molly.
God, she couldn't have made it any more obvious.
/ team drama.
Yeah.
But I particularly even enjoyed... Now, Maya, when she got back with Stormzy, made that choice to be a lot less public about their relationship. But she even made the joke about, everyone wanted me to get back with my ex. And, I know how that feels, but shout out, he's in the audience. And it was very uncharacteristic of, Maya 2.0 to be so open about her and Stormzy being there. But she did that for the drama.
Yeah, totally. When she started off saying it, I thought, does she realise that this is going to mean that she's kind of batting for Callum and Molly to get back together?
Yeah.
She really ran with it. There was no sort of just hinting at it. It was like, we had trouble too, but we got back together, and here he is, and it's all amazing now.
May I just thoroughly recommend getting back with your ex? That's essentially what she was like.
And Tom and Jess are just there like, awkward.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah, no, that was brilliant. She was just on top form last night, and she looked fabulous. I loved her outfit. What did you think of her hair? The kind of Jackie Kennedy look. She looked completely different, didn't she?
I love it. I love it all.
I just wish that she basically had to turn around and just have her back to the camera all the time just to appreciate that dress.
Yeah, it was giving back, wasn't it?
It really was giving back.
And side boobie as well. Do you know who else I think was just brilliant? Mitch with the secret girlfriend in Blackpool. And so we've got Hannah Elizabeth, icon, to thank for that, where I think Maya said to Mitch something like, so any girls on the outside? And Hannah's like, Blackpool. And then Mitch is like, oh, and then, tries to style it out, but just couldn't. And then my favourite thing...
No, I think that we need to find this out. Detective Devlin needs to find this out for later. But, they were seen on Instagram and there were wine glasses.
Yeah.
And that was quite a little bit before the actual final.
Yeah.
And then you saw them all there with the glass during it.
Yeah.
So I think drinks had been consumed. Some beverages had been consumed at that point, and... I think he just got kind of caught up in the moment and just said more than he maybe meant to. But we spoke about who he's seeing at the moment, and he actually mentioned a couple of girls. One of them will be the Blackpool girl, and he was sort of talking about how he can't really see himself actually with an Islander.
Interesting.
And that he sees himself as someone who appreciates the industry but also isn't in it.
Okay, that is interesting. My favourite sort of part 2 of the Mitch situation is that Scott couldn't help getting involved.
They're obsessed with each other, I think, aren't they?
So Scott off of Summer 23, then off of Love Island America, etc., etc. He tweeted immediately about the Blackpool girl being like, oh yeah, that would be Katie. He's been seeing her a while. And then everybody in the...
Seeing her in a while, as in before All Stars.
He goes on about her all the time. Scott was like, hold my beer.
Oh my goodness.
And then everyone's chipping in with pictures of this poor girl, her surname. And so if Mitch genuinely is seeing that girl as well as other girls, I mean, we know in the past he's had more than one girl on the go at the same time. When he first went into Love Island, in fact, we heard about him playing a couple of girls off at the same time. So God love the man.
He's
and that
young
commitment.
And free. He needs to just, play the field for a little bit.
What was throwback to some of your earlier comments? Young, dumb, and fun. No, we love Mitch. We love Mitch. Brill.
Yeah, I think also there's other Islanders chipping in. I don't know if you saw on I think it was just Love Island's Instagram page, where they'd put up the winners, and you remember Jax?
Yeah.
Jax O'Neill.
Yeah.
He was in a couple of series ago and he ended up quitting because Adam Collard came in as that first returning bombshell. He just wrote, not holding back, fix. He didn't think that it should have been Molly and Tom and Callum and Jess in the final, as in the final 2. A lot of people really wanted Sophie and Josh to win. Yeah. So, that's the only complaint I'd have about the whole final, really, because I just think that Sophie and Tom are definitely the most into each other, the most genuine, and the most, the strongest in there. They've had, a little bit of a tough time, but actually they've kind of just really been focused on each other.
Yeah.
Can we talk awkward moments with Anton and Georgia? As, that's been a very recurring theme on this podcast.
Just to prepare myself for this, they're just getting through it, aren't they?
Oh God, it's like 2 batteries where it's just like negative. It's just not working.
Yeah.
Anton was trying to do something really nice by sort of talking about how Georgia's had a really difficult time. We have spoken about it on here where, of course, she is going through a difficult time. Her ex-boyfriend, who she helped get sent to prison, has just come out while she's been in the villa. That must have been on her mind. I keep thinking about that. She's got that to deal with on top of everything else.
Yeah.
Anton made the mistake of sort of bringing that up on the final and saying how she came into the villa heartbroken.
She came in here, she was actually heartbroken when she came in, and
we didn't know that. No, I wasn't do we have to say that?
No.
He wasn't heartbroken, but you had something else.
Yeah.
Georgia's face, when you just want to die in a spot, you just want the whole world to just swallow you up.
Yeah,
that's kind of what happened.
She sort of hit back, didn't she? I wasn't heartbroken.
She said that, and I didn't want that brought up. And then it just got so frosty. Maya was like, "Oh, shall we move on?"
Oh, yeah. I think as we sort of said yesterday, and now I firmly agree, they're just sort of. It's just not the right time.
He can't do right for doing wrong, I think, or is that the right way round? Right way round. He can't do right for doing wrong, as in whatever he does isn't quite right, isn't quite good enough.
Yeah.
Because they're not gelling, because
she's
it's not
just
working,
and she's just ready.
She's just not ready.
Yeah.
Oh. Should we hear about all of the behind the scenes gossip from Mitch though? So he's gone out to South Africa, for All Stars, but also for us. And he was getting all the juicy gossip for us. There was really fascinating stuff that he was telling me about the hotels and them kind of being split up, and it's all the security around them is intense.
This is the kind of thing which I'm really desperate to hear, and I know that all of you guys will be desperate to hear. How has it worked? Have they been kept separate? Who's hooking up? Who's not talking?
What goes on at the after party?
What went? Yeah, exactly.
We're going to the final. Obviously, there'll be a lot of people that have heard it's going to be a big final. Obviously, I didn't go to mine because I came 5th, not 4th. So I flew home down to London and watched it in London. But no, it'd be nice to go to that. I'm looking forward to it. Obviously, shout out. I loved it. It's difficult. Tom's my boy from before the villa. Toby I met before, and Josh is great. So them three couples, I'd be happy for any of them to win. Josh, Toby, or Tom, their couples, I'd be very
Okay.
happy for them to win.
Great. And are you all staying in the same hotel? What's the kind of setup like at the moment?
We're separated.
All separated.
We're very much separated. Obviously, the boys are in one hotel, the girls in one hotel. We're not speaking and stuff like that. It's just protocol, I think. So
Why do you think that is?
honestly, to be honest with you, at this point with ITV, I wasn't really deep. I think it's just at this point, they were trying to get a bloody hotel that where everyone could get into, because obviously trying to get a load of people in last minute and stuff like that. So I don't think there's any side, some backstory to it. I think like if they could, they would type of thing, but they just had
Sure.
to get him into the hotels.
How did you feel when you watched what you said back? Any regrets about it, or do you think you were just really true to what you thought?
Amanda, I don't regret anything ever. I feel like you've just got to live with it and you've got to move on. So no regrets. I'd have potentially said a bit more, but I think what I did say was enough. Obviously what I said about them both being game players, they're both very business-minded people. I would put the light onto Anton on the business side. He very much talks about business on the outside, so that's when I knew. Initially, I thought this guy's just getting pie left, right, and centre. He keeps trying to say gentleman, but when you live with it and then when you see it, it clicks and you go, no, he's just a very smart man, and he's been acting very well throughout. So I don't think he's interested in Georgia either. He just plays to the camera, and that's hats off to him.
Were you worried about the backlash from choosing Georgia, Harrison, and Anton? That that there's a friendship is kind of dead in the water there.
From the public side of things, I think like a lot of the public are Anton's side, and I can't go back on TV and think I've got to get the public on my side. I just think I've got to do what I think's right, and whether the public like it or not. I come out, obviously I got my phone back today, and obviously got a bit of stick off people for saying I'm bitter about the Anton type of thing. I couldn't care less. It's just this is what I think personally, and I'm always going to go in. I know I cause drama, but I feel like I'm the most honest person in there. I'm not going to sugarcoat or cop things out, so I didn't really care. It's not like I don't care. It's like that's how I see it, and quite frankly, I want to believe my opinion over everyone else's on them two are playing the game. And as much as I wanted to say just Georgia Harrison were playing the game, Anton just as much. He really is. Like everything is so intense, and I feel like Anton's not that type of guy. I think he's just trying to love bomb to the final, get that screen time, or even try and win the prize money. Because obviously he's not seen on the outside. He was very much loved, Anton, and I think cracks are starting to show with him a tiny bit. So I think that's really about it. That's not as much as I can say about that.
Any new hookups between all of you? Any sparks flying outside of the villa?
Not really. Not that I can give you some. Well, I've been out the villa for about 2 weeks. I've obviously I've been speaking to some girls and stuff like that, but I'm not going to name them, not yet. So I'll be honest, it's not. It's just not TV girls, just like bits and bobs like that. I don't know if I'd ever date a Love Islander, on the outside. I don't know. I feel like I spoke about this with the boys. It was like, you need to date someone that's in the same career line as you, because they, quite frankly, only understand what you're going through. And I get that. Like job opportunities, TV, stuff like that. You need to date someone that's in the same line of work, or they don't understand it.
Sure.
So I very much get that, but no, nothing yet. Got to let the dust settle from this series first. Honestly, when we went in, at one point we're going to end up recoupling at this point.
Before I let you go, we have we're doing on our podcast. We're doing an awards ceremony of our own, giving out some awards to the Islanders, and you are the lucky winner. And I feel like you're going to take this in good humour.
Go on.
Ready? You have won Most Savage Star Award.
Yes, love it, love that. I'm very happy. Look at me, I'm smiling. I'm happy about that. Most savage. That's my job. I mean,
it's kind of hard to narrow it down, but I do think that line last night about Georgia Harrison and Anton being game players.
Game players.
I think that was the icing on the cake, but also all throughout the series you delivered by being honest and not caring what people think. So that's why we've awarded you Most Savage Star.
Thank you so much. I will take that award. Thank you.
What can we think of? Maybe like an extra one that you could give yourself. Is there anything that sticks out? And we'll name it like the Honorary Mitch Award.
Okay. All right, let me try and think then. God, so much pressure.
This is serious stuff.
This is serious. Loudest Scream Award. Most Unnecessary Scream Award. Molly. So loud. So honestly loud. Just like, I think that girl's beautiful. She's great, but that scream grinded my gears. You could hear it from any side of the villa, whether I'm inside or out. You could hear it scream, and it's like, oh, Molly, please. So Molly can get the Loudest Scream Award.
Amazing. Oh, that's so good. Thank you for being a good sport. And
Always.
So Mitch has kicked off our award ceremony for us. Cracking On with the Sun is its very first, and obviously we're really thankful for everyone who has tuned in, downloaded our episodes on audio or watched on YouTube and everything, because it's been a complete like one-off for us, isn't it? And just like we haven't done anything like this before, so it's been really lovely to like actually hear from everyone about listening to it with us and joining in all the chat and helping with our theories. I really love that part of it.
Yeah, because we know that we love a theory, and it's been fab to hear all of your theories as well.
Yeah.
'Cause, God, the Love Island fandom, you're all so locked in to this means this, which means that. So we love that we're not alone. So that's fab. But we thought we'd indulge ourselves with our own awards.
Yeah.
So we've heard a couple from Mitch. Now, I know that you're going to disagree with some of these, because even Amanda and I disagree with each other about
we've had
some
a bit
of
of a fight, actually, haven't we? It's not like us, but I thought, well, hang on a second, this should be this person. I felt like we were in Britain's Got Talent. You know, when they have all their faces out of all the contestants, and there's only a certain amount that can get through. I felt the power going to my head.
You are Amanda Holden.
Yes, I would love to be her.
Yeah, you are. I'm Simon Cowell.
At any age. Okay, right, what should we kick off with?
Right, so I would like to talk to you about the Ick Award.
Okay.
So as you know, when we began this journey many years ago, I was so for Chris Taylor, it was almost a bit embarrassing. It was constantly, he's so fit, he's so funny, why does no one ever fancy him? He's amazing. I borderline hate myself now. Looking back. I think the problem with...
Yeah, don't watch those early episodes.
Yeah, I completely have the ick now of Chris Taylor. For me, it was just that conversation that he had with Arabella, and there's nothing wrong with there's nothing wrong with looking elsewhere. There's nothing wrong with falling out of love with someone, but you do not need to speak to anyone like that. Never mind like a woman, never mind someone that you know, have been kissing and stuff. For me, hard no, not funny anymore. Chris Taylor, I've got the ick.
I was sort of batting for Anton with this one because he is kind of the king of the ick, but it was a lovable way. But I think what we mean in this way is it's like the
when you know when you caught the ick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Sticking with Anton,
go on.
He's just on the brain at the moment. I'm just going to go for their worst kiss is Anton and Georgia Harrison. Actually, it was quite hard to narrow down the worst kiss because there's been so many. We've had that, the dates where the boys had like been in charge of arranging, and you had them
the yoga theme.
It was like awkward and it just didn't fit.
Yeah.
And then also we've had all of the really noisy kisses, and what they ended up falling out about was the sucking. Yuck.
Yeah. I would like to talk about best wardrobe.
Yes.
So obviously we know that a lot of them, are put together by eBay and all that kind of thing. And I love, as a pre-loved girly, I love that we've seen the repeating of the outfits and that kind of thing, because I think that's really fab. But I just have to say, Kaz's wardrobe, like I just love how it is individual. My favourite outfit was that green one with the feathers. In a series of life series of a lot of bodycon and the similar sort of things, Kaz always looked completely different to everyone else. There's the oversized suits. I just think that she was completely dedicated to just her own personal style, and I love that.
But she could also wear a bin bag and look fabulous.
True.
She's got that kind of talent.
She has got that talent. So just a really nice moment of love there for Kaz. We love you.
Absolutely. So yeah, this one, you're going to know exactly who's won. As soon as I said it, it's the best award ever, in my opinion. Best ever excuse for dumping someone. The winner is Casey, when Georgia said she'd seen his dead grandpa. It's so niche and incredible.
Yeah.
I'm just obsessed with that moment. I just think, how can you beat that in TV? That is a moment that deserves to be recognised, not only in this award ceremony, but award ceremonies across the world.
My favourite thing about it as well is that they just both sat there in their swimwear with their designer sunglasses on, and he was like, oh, if you really must know.
And she was like, did you just go off me? And he was like, well, yeah, kind of, but it's a bit more complicated than that. I need to give you the detailed reason here.
And we were all expecting it to be something tangible, but no. Literal real life ghosting.
I love Casey.
Brilliant. I've got another slightly off kilter one here.
Mm-hmm.
Best supporting actress.
Okay.
The hair bow. I feel like at any moment in that villa, there was a hair bow.
I feel like we should have worn them today. What, we've missed out on that.
No offence to you, Amanda, in any way. I mean this purely on myself. I'm a 38-year-old woman.
Yeah.
I can't be wearing a hair bow.
You can. You absolutely can.
I just feel like these hair bows,
They're everywhere, but they're strong in the villa.
When Toby, best notable moments for the hair bow. I don't know who's going to accept this award for the hair bow.
Here is the best bow.
Top
the best
bows.
like the top bows. Best
of the bows.
Best bit.
Georgia, when Toby did his Fortune favours the brave with Georgia, great hair bow then. When Tom took out his little slips of paper with things like beautiful and nice about Molly, great hair bow then.
Yeah.
Georgia Harrison, just bowing non-stop. Anyway,
She does rock the bow. I think Georgia
Yeah.
Steele is she's the best one, isn't she?
I would just like to
sure.
deny any speculation that we're trying to get sponsorship by a hair bow company.
We would do it all for free, wouldn't we? Just talk about bows. I've got a previous guest from the podcast who's also giving out an award today. It's Marcel Somerville.
Oh, love him.
Hi, it's Marcel, and the winner of the funniest moment goes to Casey for his snake bite joke with Kaz.
I don't think that we could have done this award ceremony without mentioning snakiest moments, because there have been so many actually in this series.
It's been so snaky.
And it was hard to choose one, but I do think it's kind of the moment of the series, really, where everything turned, which was Toby dumping Arabella during the recoupling. Absolutely no warning at all, just picked Georgia Steele. It was a real mouth open, craziness. Can't believe he's doing this again. Love it.
I disagree on this one.
Oh, no.
I think it was the moment that Georgia was in the hideaway with Callum and was like, there's no one I'd rather be here with. And then literally 4 hours later was on the terrace with Tom.
Okay, so I think we might have to give snakiest couple, make that the award, and it's Toby and Georgia.
Yeah. Good, agreed. Look, it all worked out, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Fortune indeed favours the brave.
Oh, God, if I hear that phrase one more time.
Not because they came fourth.
No.
Okay, we're going to finish
Finish off now, yeah.
on a lovely, positive one. Mm-hmm. So, the All-Star of All Stars. Now, when I was thinking about this, I pulled a lot of things into consideration. So, we talked at the very beginning about, what they could potentially get out of this, like where they were in their life at the minute, whether they were in this for love or money or career, the pitfalls of doing this and all that jazz. And I think the person who completely 100% has come out of this smelling of roses, queen of that villa, Hannah Elizabeth.
Oh, Hannah. Everything about her outfits, the way she got on with everyone, that she kind of didn't settle for anything. She knew what she wanted and basically Tyler, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was that.
Yeah.
And now Tyler is back single, and I think that we owe a lot to Hannah for that. I'm happy that he's back single and is going to have all of these girls that are just around him constantly.
Yeah. And look, we already know it's working out for Hannah because, as she said last night on the show, her DMs are popping off. Even this week, she did the old soft launching, man's hand in photo type situation.
I hate these things because it just makes me like, who is it? I want to know right now.
Well, that's the detective in you.
Yeah.
So I just think Hannah Elizabeth should have won the Miss Congeniality Award. They should have done that.
Yeah.
5th to 1st plus,
Yes. Yeah.
MVP, because I feel like she was an absolute legend. So that's a wrap on the Cracking On Award.
Oh.
And almost the end
podcast.
of the Cracking On with the Sun podcast. I wanted to share with you your best bit.
You haven't told me this.
So I really enjoyed Detective Devlin. I feel like this was a whole new era for you, and I loved it. But my absolute favourite moment was when it felt like completely unnecessarily went in on people. Because you are not like that.
Oh God! I just think I just got carried away. I think you do
committed.
watch it. You do watch it, and you get really frustrated with people.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is a safe space to be really honest.
Yeah.
But it has been awkward when you then have to talk to them afterwards. But as I've said, everyone's allowed for their opinion to change, and I stand by Sophie's voice. I can't stand it,
Yeah.
but I love her, and that's all that matters. Your best bit for me is the knitwear that you brought every day.
I knew
and
you were going to say that.
I know that you're gorgeous in this dress, but do you know what? The knitwear has a really special place in my heart. So thank you for bringing that every single day.
Oh, you're welcome.
We've got some exciting news because we've got some new podcasts that are coming out, and we can't say too much at the moment. So it's all very teasy, but stay tuned. Basically, there's more to come. This isn't the end, and exciting things ahead. So please stay with us.
Yeah, but for now, for the last time this Love Island season, we will say, see ya.
See ya. I'm gonna cry.